My name is Dr. Williams, better known as Dr. No Days Off. And today I'm going to take a couple of minutes to talk to you a little bit about reflective practice, right? And, what is a good way, or not really what is a good way, because there are multiple ways to do reflective practice, right? Many people do different ways. I have different methods of it. I have a process that I call a PDR process, plan, do, review, that I do on a monthly basis. Actually, it's due. I need to do it today or tomorrow, but it's one way that I can reflect on whether I'm still on my track of reaching my goals, or things that I need to do to strengthen me reaching my goals. But reflective practice, ladies and gentlemen, it's not always about being reflective in your professional career. It's more important to be reflective in personally. It's more important to be reflective with yourself more than it is to be reflective in your position. And people are, well, Dr. Williams, it's important to be reflective in my position because, if I want to advance my career and everything, and you're absolutely right, it is. But what I'm saying to you here, and what I'm saying to you now is that when you're reflective with yourself, right, and you are practicing reflective practice, so you are actually looking back within yourself, right? I always say to people, seek yourself from within yourself. Okay, when you do reflective practice, external factors and circumstances should not be involved. This is all about you making yourself better. This is all about you, growing to become a better person, a better leader, right? And how are you going to do that? How do you reflect, right? Some people would do, meditation. Some people will do journaling. Some people will talk to, friends, family, coworkers, whatever, for feedback on how to make them better. I'm I'm not that one to go to somebody and say, hey, how am I as a person, or how am I as your friend, or how am I as your boss, or how am I as a coworker? Because I'm more focused on myself and presenting the best person that I can be in my environment. Okay. And if I can present myself, or when I present myself as the best person that I can be in my environment, that's not meaning that I'm perfect. What that means is that I'm always steadily working on myself. I'm always steadily working, to ensure that I'm presenting the best person out there who can work with other people, right? Who can work in different types of environments and across different platforms, right? Now, that doesn't mean everybody's going to like me, and I understand that. Okay, what that means is that whether a person likes me or do not like me, right? It doesn't matter. I'm the same person to both groups. Okay, and that's something that people that know Dr. No Days Off will tell you, that he is the same person whether you like him or you don't like him. The reasons why people like me will be the same reasons why other people don't like me. And to me, that provides consistency. Okay. I am not different to people over here who don't like me than I am to the people that like me. Right. I don't smile more to the people that like me and stop smiling less to the people that don't like me. And I smile regardless. Okay. So, and I learned that in my reflective practice, that when you're out here and you're reflecting because you want to be, you're trying to show people at your job or in your position or whatever you do that, hey, I can be better here, I can be better there, but you're not working on the foundation, which is yourself. Your self leadership is your foundation to your leadership environment, to your leadership process, and everything else involved with your leadership. Then what happens is you start creating different types of people, different types of personalities. I'm not your psychologist, and I'm going to tell you that you're going to develop bipolar or split personality or whatever the case may be. But what I'm saying to you is that you're going to cause some conflict within yourself, because when you're in this environment, you have to work and act and be a certain way. But when you're in this environment, then you have to be completely different. That's a lot of work, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there's some people that can pull that off, and there's some people that actually like that, and that's fine. That's dandy. That's okay. If that's who you are, then you know what? I always tell people, go with your maker, and hey, have a great day. All right. But if that's not who you are, if it's wearing you down, if it's destroying you, that's because you're in conflict. And so you got to figure out why. And that's why self-reflective practice or reflective practice is good for you to practice, right? Figure out a way that works for you, right? As I mentioned earlier, my plan, do, review. I write my goals down. I have my goal. I have a goal process that I follow, that I created, and that I know is successful because I've been using it for over, and I've been perfecting the I've been perfecting my system and everything over the years, and I know it works. I actually talked about it in my book, The Black Print of Leadership, how I set my goals, right? And so, and as a result, I set my goals, and then every month I reflect on what it is that the goals I was supposed to be working on. I reflect on what barriers, challenges that I allow to distract me, or what did I allow to distract me from reaching my goals. I might reflect on some circumstances and situations. I know I go through circumstances and situations now that I went through similar 5, 10 years ago. And I say, man, I'm a way better person. And as a result of that, I know it's because I've been reflecting and I've been working on myself, right? In my reflection, I always ask myself, how did I improve? How did I grow? How did I intentionally improve? What new did I read to help me intentionally grow as a person and as a leader? And so those are different ways that I do it. Sometimes I just sit by myself and then reflect mentally, thinking of things. Sometimes I like to just watch or listen to something that is a favorite of mine, that puts me in a certain mindset and put me in a certain mood that allows me to do my reflecting, right? So just keep in mind that reflective practice doesn't always apply to your position. Okay. It doesn't always apply to work. Your reflective practice should first start off with yourself. Okay. You should start off with yourself. And then as you get better and better at it, then you can spread it out, or it would automatically, to me, it would naturally spread out into your work, into your career, into what you do, for a living, or what you plan on doing for a living. So just keep that in mind. And it's just a little bit of advice, a little bit of information about reflective practice, but you don't have to do it the way Dr. Williams tell you to do it. Okay. You don't have to do it the way Dr. Williams do it. You find a system, and you find a method that works for you, right? That allows you to grow into the person that you need to become to reach your goals. So you find that method that works for you, and the method that works for you might not work for someone else. The method that is helping you, it might not help somebody else. Like I said, my method works for me. I know my method works for me, right? But my method might not work for you. But the reason why I told you about my method is because you can take bits and pieces of different methods that you might hear or see and say, you know what, I can develop my own. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what I did. When I developed my PDR process, it's bits and pieces from methods and things that I thought that helped me become successful, that I've used and I put together and I implemented, and I created this innovative plan of reflective practice. So that's, don't be afraid to actually go out there and build something that's going to help you grow and help you become better as you continue to go on day by day by day. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's just my little piece of advice, a little bit of information about reflective practice. Much success to you in your doctoral journey. Much success to you in all of your journey. And I'll see you at the top.